Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Marbury Mysteries. The entertainment is about to begin, and with no expense spared, the reduced heritage players will present, for your delight, for your entertainment, and for your edification, a bite-sized view of the life and times of Marbury. Act 1. The history of Marbury Hall.
There once was a hall. You can tell by this wall. It was wide. It was tall. But it rotted.
Act 2. The owners of Marbury Park and Hall. Fall in, come on, fall in. Left, right, come on, halt. Left, turn. Warim Vernon, 12th century Baron of Shipbrook. William de Marbury. Sir Fortified Place by Mirror Water, better known as Humphrey Marbury, followed by his extensive family of just Williams, Little Johns, and Richard the Lasts. The right dishonourable Earl Rivers, and ladies and gentlemen, don't let him anywhere near your daughters. Get back in line. The renowned Barrymores, and the very well-known Smith Barrys, including the hunting Smith Barry. Note the distinctive green collar.
Noted, not impressed.
See Blue Cap, the fastest hound in the northwest.
Overrated.
500 guineas says he'll catch you before any other hound.
Ooh, Dan! They weren't very good hunters, as you can see. Good at catching deer, old stags in particular, but your typical 18th century fox, like my good self, was far too ingenious to be hounded to ground by this lot. The problem with the 18th century fox was it didn't have eyes in the back of his head.
The gambling Smith Barrys.
Fancy a flutter?
Go on then, what's your game?
Cockfighting.
Your cock against mine. Up at the grotto, in a pit, one leg apiece, staked to the ground with an iron spike. They fight, claw each other to bits with their vicious talons. Last one standing is the winner. See?
Sounds lovely. But are you sure there's the law against this sort of thing?
Not yet, but there will be.
Good.
To behold. Well, perhaps you'd prefer the magnanimous Smith Barrys.
Give
To the poor, here's for the needy.
Have some sweets, but don't be greedy.
What a fine-looking bunch. See them hanging on the walls, framed for immortality.
James Smith Barry, a duelist and a charmer.
Chateau James Barry, celebrating the birth of his son Arthur, with a party on the ice when the mere froze over. Note the 2 roasted pigs, full orchestra, copious barrels of beer, and 10 gallons of rum, for 4,000 guests. Arthur Smith Barry himself, on his 21st birthday, in the company of poets, dreamers, and others less restrained.
Raymond Smith Barry, last of his line, flew a small aeroplane, crashed one in the wall. And sold the place to
Marbury Park, the Country Club Consortium.
anyone for tennis?
A swim, a putt and a partridge.
Yes, the Country Club Consortium, ladies and gentlemen. Later to be followed by men from ICI. And last but not least, the Countryside Rangers, ladies and gentlemen, the owners of Marbury Hall. Act 3, the natural history of Marbury, an abstract upon its fauna and flora. The fish.
Eels. Tench.
The carp.
And pike. And carp.
Oh, the tench. The bird life.
Ducks. Geese. And the lesser spotted twitter famous for flying backwards. You're not birds either.
The habitat.
Trees. Shrubs. Mud. And the mere. Lovely when the sun's out.
And the Marbury Dun. The myths of Marbury.
Oi, horsey!
What do you want?
Do us a favour, eh?
Well, hey, I'll do anything.
I bet the bookies that you can't ride from here to London and back again in a day.
Can't ride from here to London and back again in a day?
Bet you can't.
Of course I can.
Prove it.
What's in it for me, then?
I'll put you out to stud.
Ooh, done.
Here goes Marbury Dun, the finest horse that's ever run, galloping with a steady beat, with silver shoes upon his feet. Here goes Marbury Dun, the finest horse that's ever run, galloping with a steady beat, with silver shoes upon his feet.
And he's coming to the finish line now. The crowd can't believe their eyes. A Hercules of a horse, riding and trying. Oh, yes, he's knackered.
You've done it!
Done it and done in. I'm a goner, I think.
We'll make you immortal. The Marbury Dun.
That was.
And the ghosts of Marbury.
Oh, Beryl, I'm so frightened. Oh, Mary Alice, you know, we shouldn't have come to these woods. They say they're haunted. Look, there's something shimmering in the hollows. Marbury ghost. Catch it before she catches you.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of tonight's performance. I hope you've enjoyed the work of the reduced heritage players. And if you now care to make your way back to the car park, I'm sure our front of house staff will assist you if you need help. Thank you for coming.
No, my friend. No. That will not do. There is much more to tell about Marbury. Much more to know.
Oh, well, I can't see. I mean, we've done our bit. Well, just nice for a walk. I mean, nice for walking the dog. Mere's quite pretty. Good for woodpeckers, I believe. Swimming pool's rather unusual, but having said that, there's nothing much more you can say about the place. So, as I said, if you make your way back to the
If you want the story of Marbury, I will tell it for you. Unlock its secrets.
And who might you be?
The Marbury lady. A teller of tales. Listen to me and you will learn something of the soul, the spirit of Marbury. For it is a special place, with so many stories. And you will help me tell them.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I know so. Come to Esme, my little ones. Let me enchant you. Then you can all play with Esme, n'est-ce pas? Help me to tell my little tales. The first is a tale of romance and passion. Do you like romance and passion? I thought so. But also a story of sorrow and regret. It is a story of long ago, my friends. So we must climb back through the ages. And the past, it is buried, n'est-ce pas? So we must dig in the earth to find it again. And so what have we here? A box. Is it a box of delights? Does it hold treasure? Or does it hide some terrible secret? Or like Pandora's box, is it filled with cruel hatred and little hope? Please, madame, tell us what you find in here. A lock of hair. But who did it belong to, I wonder? 200 years ago, Marbury Hall. What a fine estate. And as we wander through the house, some of its treasures take our breath away. Paintings by Rosa, Tintoretto, Velázquez, and Van Gogh. Of Beltrafiglio's Madonna and Child. Sculptures from the Levant, Constantinople, Egypt. Of Polymenius singing a bridal song. A vase with, in high relief, the marriage of Paris to Helen of 1,000 ships crafted upon it. Other figures of muses. A fragment of the Parthenon frieze, all but discarded. Other figures of muses. And the finest collection of marbles in England. Priceless treasures, my friends. And a portrait of the master himself, James Hugh Barry. A well-traveled, cultured and sophisticated man. A man of fortune and grace. And wealthy too. Ah, James, what a catch you would have been for some fine Cheshire lady. A Warburton from Arley, an Edgerton from Tatton. Like moths they were, these fine ladies. They flitted and flirted about him. There a blotched brocade, some bordered beauties, a feathered thorn or two. But he was blind to their attentions and rejected them all. For the heart of James Barry was drawn to another, and it was a forbidden love. 200 years ago, one bright night, one midnight, there is a knock upon the door of Marbury Hall. A woman stands in the cold air. She has come from far away, my friends, a foreign land. And now she stands a stranger in another country, like a beggar at a rich man's door. So what has drawn her here, I wonder? Words of love?
And here's another cold soul making her way from the servants' quarters that night to answer the call, as if life ain't hard enough. Yes, madam.
Votre maître est chez lui.
The girl was French, they say.
I beg your pardon?
James Hugh Barry. Je suis venu le voir.
It was the master she wanted.
Oh, lost your way, have you?
Dites-lui que je suis ici, que je suis revenu. J'avais promis que je reviendrai.
The girl was desperate.
Is it Northwich you're after? Because if you follow the smoke, you'll find it.
Je dois voir James.
Fetch your master.
Il faut amener votre maître immédiatement. Allez le chercher.
You're not from round here, are you?
Let her see him.
Oh, I know what this is. This is one of his entanglements. He's a bit of a one when he's off on his travels.
Let her in.
Very well then, but I think you're in for a bit of a disappointment, my girl. I would carry on for Northwich if I were you. You could make some little lump man very happy.
Merci.
And suddenly he was there before her. And it should have been so romantic. They should have thrown themselves at one another.
James?
But they did not. They could not.
James, who is this creature?
Hear what she thinks, what she tries to say, but what is never understood.
Tu as dit que je serai ton trésor. Tu m'as appelée princesse.
T'apprends
Hear what he
Egyptian.
thinks and cannot say.
Tu m'as dit que j'étais
I know I've met this dark-haired beauty, but I can't quite place where.
Suis-moi,
Somewhere abroad on my
Mathilde.
travels.
Promis-moi
There were quite a
cela.
few encounters.
Et je le fais. Me voici
And
pour
there's a look in
toi.
her lovely eyes to suggest a promise was made. But I'm damned if I can remember it.
Tu m'as oublié.
I'm sorry?
Tu m'as oublié.
She says, you said you would return for her, but you never came.
Alors, c'est moi qui est venu le chercher.
Oh, she says she has come for you. Oh, I don't think so. So, what is she then? You've come to, is it your intention to introduce me to her?
No, my dear, it is not my intention to do
A
anything like
souvenir
that.
from abroad?
C'est mon amour.
Huh.
What did she say?
C'est mon amour.
She says you are her lover.
Et il a pris une mèche de mes cheveux comme une marque, comme un
And
souvenir.
that you have a lock of her hair
Oui.
as a keepsake.
I'll get rid of her.
Oh, no.
Go on. Out.
James, stop.
Non.
I haven't told you what we've decided to do about it.
Oh.
Il faut que tu restes ici. She can stay.
What?
Pardon. If that is what would make you happy, my dear, she can stay.
And stay she did. A ménage à trois. This dark-haired gypsy girl, her James, and this other love. How many of us here tonight would have done such a thing? Share your love with another? Aunt Anna was a very special lady.
J'étais son amant défendu. Moi aussi.
She also knew what it was like to be a forbidden love too.
Have you heard about James Hugh? Heard what he intends to do?
Ridiculous.
When I had hoped for him myself.
Scandalous.
With his housekeeper. Whatever next? And she's pregnant, you know.
She'll be shunned even if he marries her. Not that he ever will.
Not that he ever did.
Doors of all the decent houses will be closed to her.
And as for the children,
They'll never inherit.
His sisters will see to that.
Won't they just?
I understood how it was to be shunned, to be left out in the cold.
And so the girl was invited to remain in the house, but not as James's princess.
She looked after the children. She taught them French. I liked her company. And her little stories.
Il y avait une fois une petite princesse qui habitait.
There once was a beautiful princess who lived on a magic island in a faraway land. She was a happy princess, even though she was alone. Then one day, a handsome lord sailed to her shore. The princess fell in love with him, and he said he loved her too. When he left her island, she was sure he would return for her. But he did not. Desperate for his love, she set sail for his castle in the north. But he had betrayed her. He had fallen in love with another. The princess remained in that castle, no longer alone, but never to be happy again. But she seemed contented in her way.
Some say she fell in love again, or not with a man, but with Marbury itself. Its hollows, the ancient woodlands where spirits seem to come, the mere at sunset, the clear shape of the stars.
So I never suspected that there would be anything wrong.
Until one night, another midnight, 200 years ago or so.
The children were asleep. John, James, Caroline, Narcissa and Louise.
James was away from the hall to have his marbles valued.
man Tanner had already retired for the evening.
The servants were out of sight.
And only she was walking. Walking to that staircase, the one that is there in front of you, with its chandelier gleaming high above. And look, she has her foot upon the first stair, and she begins her climb. What is she doing here? What is she thinking? Does she dream of her home? Is her heart filled with regret? See her shadow in the beams from the moonlight. Watch her, one hand gliding on the banister like a ghost as if frightened to touch. Up and up. See, she looks down at the stone-cold floor below. What is she thinking? Has she woken from her reverie, her dream of love? Or is she still dreaming, sleeping as she walks to the chimes of the dead hours? What strange force lifts her still higher? She has climbed upon the balustrade. Her eyes are closed. She shivers in the cold air. Is she smiling? Are there tears? Was that laughter? Was it joy? And what did she cry when she hit that stone-cold floor below? Was it a simple adieu?
An accident! A terrible accident. I'll miss her, of course, as will the children.
She wants to be buried here, so they say. At Marbury. In the grounds, you understand. But she can hardly go in the grotto with the family pets. And I'm not sure with the room for a mausoleum. And besides, and this is somewhat embarrassing, we're not entirely sure of her name. So what would I put on her gravestone? Here lies...
The Marbury lady. So, did you like that? Esme has many tales. She can teach you many things. Would you like that?
I hardly think that insubstantial little tale was any better than the reduced heritage players. They agree with me, don't you? No. Yeah, you do. Come on, you do, don't you? No.
Oh, my friend, we have only just begun. Time moves on, and so must we.
Where to?
Listen, and you will know.
She's a pretty bird. She sings and she flies. She brings us good tidings. She tells us no lies. She sucks little bird eggs, but to keep her voice clear. And the more she sings cuckoo, the summer draws near.
Is like the voice of one's own childhood. It is with us through time and beyond time.
Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She sings as she flies. She brings us good tidings. She tells us no lies. She sucks little birds' eggs, but to keep her and the more she sings cuckoo, the summer draws near.
We can hear what it had to say, what it has to say.
Ah, but not see how it looked. No, the first hall, that is. Tudor it was, apparently, but there were no pictures of it.
Like that?
Ah, but the second hall, there were some paintings of the second hall, the Georgian hall.
Which is where my tale was set.
And it looked?
Like this.
Oh. Ah, what about the last one? You've nothing on that.
Comme ça.
That delightful drive to your dying gate. Just like French ladies, you think?
Designed by Salvin, you know. And the gardens landscaped by Nestfield.
Good evening, good common people. Make way, make way.
Wonderful statues in the courtyard.
That clock tower, what a feature.
Take my horse to the grooms, have it seen to. There's good fellow. Later we'll sail to the summer house by the mere.
Won't that be nice, I'll say.
This entrance hall, what a delight. That great dome above us.
And the ballroom where we'll dance the night away.
The library with so many books on foreign travel.
Not that we'll read them, they're only there for show. But we'll play a hand of bridge in the salon.
Or a game of billiards. No women allowed, of course. But what we're really looking forward to is a feast in that dining room. There's places for 100 people, you know, so you won't be left out.
What a delight! What a wonder to behold!
But not anymore.
There once was a hall, you can tell by this wall. It was wide, it was tall, but it rotted.
How the rich live.
But 100 years later, other children, although not children anymore, enjoyed the pleasures of the hall in its twilight years. And what scamps they were when they went.
Down in the cellar, scamping like rats. Up through the windows, breaking through the glass. Up through the cobwebs, shouting like thunder. Scrambling where we shouldn't be, making lots of mess. What can we steal? What can we start? Climbing up the towers, fighting out like bats. Eyes shut, don't look down, life will never end.
Sliding doors, sloping tiles and yelling to the wind.
Scratching names on statues, Jim loves Jess.
Stones in their pockets like soldiers with bullets.
Run through the halls.
Pulling plaster from the walls.
Riding on the iron gates. Winging them shut with a
wham!
And a
crash!
There
once was a hall, you can tell by this wall. It was wide, it was tall, but it rotted.
But let me take you back to this house in its days of glory, 100 years ago or so. And look, there is another staircase. It winds, it coils, but up to where the servants sleep, not their masters. There are no glittering chandeliers for them. But on a table at the foot of the staircase sits a leaden casket. And what is in this box, I wonder? In this box of delights. And so we shall see how the past ripples through the present to the future. So, who is stirring here?
Arthur Burton, footman, Marbury Hall. A bit of a lad.
Ethel Roberts, maid if you please. Game for a laugh, game for anything.
Tom Harker, groom and a devil in the saddle.
Rose May Jones, Cumberbatch born and bred. I've only just started work up at the big house, and my mother said to me, now you be good up there, my girl. Don't you go getting yourself into no trouble. So what would she say if she could see me here now? Up to me hijinks in it, up near the servants' stair. I'm only going along with it because I think they're being friendly. Well, I hope. I wish I knew where I was, though. I do wish that.
That's it then. No turning back now, my girl.
I hope you're ready for this, Rosie.
Not frightened, are you? Hold on to me if you are. Nice and tight. Tom will take care of you.
Can I see now?
No.
Not yet.
Why?
Because
she wants to take a good look at you first.
Who?
The lady.
What lady?
the Marbury lady. Can't you feel her breath on your cheek?
On your sweet little neck.
Can't you feel her pinching you?
Ow!
Hey, don't do that. You don't want to frighten her. You don't want her walking straight through you.
Where is she?
All around you. We've got no hold of you now. That's the lady whirling and swirling you round. She's taking a good look at you, and trying to decide if she likes the look of you. I'm not sure that she does.
Why is she here?
You know the story, don't you? Oh, tell her the story, Ethel.
Once, long ago, one of our masters brought back a beautiful princess from a foreign land.
Egypt it was.
He loved her so much, he was sworn to marry her. They were going to spend the rest of their lives together.
But it didn't work out that way.
Why?
He lost her.
How?
She died of the cold, because she was used to the hot weather, see?
No, she drowned in the mere.
No, she was run over by his horse and carriage.
Aye, that were it. Aye, it was his horse. A big white one too.
But before she breathed her last, he scooped her up in his loving arms and heard her final words. "I'll never leave you," she said.
In Egyptian.
"We will one day be together forever in loving eternity, as long as you promise me one thing."
What was that?
That you must never bury my body in the ground, that you must keep it safe by your side until your dying day.
And the master was as good as his word.
He wrapped her body in cotton bandages, all soaked in a liquid to stop the flesh from rotting away.
To wait for the day when they would be together again.
But that day never came, for the master married another. So she was cursed to be alone for eternity. And her ghost can be seen deep down in the hollows, galloping.
Clippity-clip, 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 clippity-clip.
Galloping.
Clappity-clap, clappity-clap, clappity-clap.
Galloping astride that fine white horse that killed her. Hey, don't be scared, Rose. Just hold on to me if you are, nice and tight. I'll see you don't come to any harm.
Just into trouble.
I knew there was no ghost. I knew you were just trying to frighten me. And you had no right to pinch me like that.
What's it mean?
There is a coffin, though.
Where? That's nothing.
It's got the princess's name on it.
Where?
There on the lid, look, in written hieroglyphins.
It's just scribble.
Well, why don't you go and open it then if you think there's nothing to be frightened of?
I will.
Go on then if you're so brave.
She don't need to.
There's no harm in it.
As long as no one finds out.
Go on then, girl. What are you waiting for?
That's horrible.
What is?
Who'd do such a thing? Who'd ever do such a thing? It's not decent.
What is?
Someone should know. The constable.
Constable Buckley?
They ought to do something about this.
What?
It should be
What's
buried.
up with her?
She's gone daft, that's what's up.
Do you not know what it is?
No.
It's a body.
No.
And it's like it's been burnt in a fire.
Burned?
Let me see.
There.
Oh.
No, it isn't, Rose.
Thought not.
Honest.
Gone mad.
What do you think it is then?
Well, it's one of them mummies, like what they found in Africa.
A mummy. The box isn't big enough for my mummy.
And they've wrapped it in swaddling cloths.
No, them's just them bandages they wrap them in to preserve them. Look, come away, Rose, if you're frightened. We didn't mean to frighten you, come away.
Well, it was somebody once.
Oh, 1,000 years ago, one of them masters had brought it back on their travels. They bring back all sorts.
Not nice though, is it?
So, this is the lady.
Hey, don't touch that, you might catch something.
Or it'll fall apart and we'll get in trouble.
She's coming to get you.
No, don't do that. Don't. Stop it. I'm doing it. I'm taking it.
Oh, you can't.
I'm going to give this poor creature a proper burial.
Mustn't.
No,
I'll
you
mark
mustn't,
a grave
Rose.
with a cross.
Rose.
I'll think of some name for her in my prayers. I may be no priest, but I'll find some hollow place where it can rest in peace.
Rose?
Another Marbury lady. They flitter through the history of the house, like the moths that come here to dance by night. So many tales have been told about her.
She walks in Marbury Park.
She lingers in the hollows. She shimmers by the lodge.
She drifts like a mist in the woods.
You find her in the places where you shiver.
She glides across the mere.
She frightens horses on the lane.
You can see her high in the air.
She makes the clock tower bell ring and ring a ghostly peal.
She shakes the servants' beds at night.
I saw her in the Arboretum, over that way by the pool. I was walking my dog early morning, and it knew that there was a woman's shape, a ghost shape. Yes, a ghost shape.
I never held much truck with any of them stories, but one night I was walking down Marbury Lane, quite late. Bet a few of you have walked down Marbury Lane quite late. Don't tell me why now, though. But anyway, there was something behind the bushes, moving. As I moved, it moved. When I stopped, it stopped. The night was black, pitch black, no moon to see by. My heart was pounding, and it was pounding more and more and more, and it was going to burst out my chest because it came straight through the bushes at me. And there it was in front of me, the head of a donkey. That was my Marbury lady.
Well, my sister was asleep in the hall up there. I can't remember what age she was. Older than me, I think, because she didn't tell me what had happened until years later. Didn't want to frighten her little sister. And I would have been frightened. It was, she said, as if someone or something had snatched her and was shaking and tossing her from side to side. But what that something was, she couldn't see or wouldn't tell.
I was on my bike, going up to the hall for one of the dances, Saturday night. I was going across the bridge when I saw this woman coming towards me, walking towards me. I said evening or something like that, can't quite remember. But she just looked right through, passed by me without a word. I thought there was something odd about her, and when I turned to look, she'd gone, vanished.
I used to make up stories about her. We all did when we were kids. There's no truth in them. Of course there isn't.
Tell him, truth. Tell him. Come on, tell him. Come to the lady on the Marbury door. Lift me foot and go.
In the hollow lies a tree, shimmering in the wilderness, having a
That'll do. We don't want any rudery.
Oh yes, there are adults listening.
So there's no such thing as the Marbury ghost, just a tale of mischief makers about a master's mistress or his dead mummy.
Oh, you can believe that if you want to. I would not be so sure. But come, you have come tonight to listen to the stories of the history of Marbury. But remember, Marbury has its natural history too. You will want to hear about that too, won't you?
Yeah.
I said, won't you?
Yes! Yeah, ducks, geese, and a lesser spotted twitter.
You forgot to mention the Marbury monster.
Marbury monster? Don't think I like the sound of that.
Oh, I think she'll leave you in one piece. She has more taste. But come, my friends, to the Mere, where the Major is waiting for us. And you do not want to be the last to make the dust patrol. Allez, my friends, to the Mere.
Now, I thought you said we were about to meet a Major.
Oh, he is here, in spirit.
No, I don't see...
Voila!
Ah.
Good evening, Major Budwell.
Good evening, my dear. Yes, what a fine-looking platoon we have here. What a delight for an old soldier's eyes to feast upon, yes. Pleased to meet you, my dear. Major Budworth at your disposal, yes. And you too, yes. New recruits, I see. Any chance of a salute for the old Major? Yes, well, this gentleman will show you how it's done, won't you, sir? Come on, you can do it. My salute first. Now you. There you are, dear. Now, can you do that? Me first. Now you. Oh, yes, I think you're up for promotion very, very soon. Yes. So, you want to know something about Marbury, do you?
They want to know all about its hidden pleasures and mysteries.
Do you?
And its romance.
Oh, yes. Some people say it was a very, very romantic place, you know. Marbury, yes. Oh, well, yes, it's the last house, that is, you know. Not me. Oh no, I couldn't stand the look of the place. No, it had all the grandeur of an old boot factory. No, it was stucco stuck on all over the place. No cohesion. Architects should have been shot. No wonder the place was pulled down. No, the real beauty of the place is here, right before your eyes.
Merci, monsieur.
The Mere. Marbury Mere. Yes. Oh, yes, Marbury Mere. Some people call it Budworth Mere, you know. Named after me, Major Budworth. Yeah. No, Marbury Mere, yes, it's a very romantic spot. And yes, there's been a lot of canoodling go on here. Yes, I bet you've done a bit of canoodling, not canoeing, madam. No, I bet you've done a bit of canoodling here. I can tell by that twinkle in your eyes. No, you have. We won't tell your husband. Okay. No, there's a lot of assignations of that ilk went on here, you know. You've only got to ask the rangers. They're here, you know. Can you spot them? They're here. Look after the place, they do. All 196 acres of it, yes. Have done for the past 30 years.
You mean the park keepers? The one who brushes all the leaves up and keeps the drives clean?
Oh, rather more than that, soldier. Tell him, troops.
Habitat management.
Oh, Ash, Beach.
Oriental Plain.
Lime Avenue.
Protection and stewardship of the parklands lie.
Blackcap. Heron. Woodpecker.
Tawny Owl.
Mitten.
Duck.
Environmental education.
Planting pine trees.
Laying hedges.
Guided walks.
Making sculptures.
Play Int Park.
Making ecological impact assessments.
Friends of Anderton and Marbury.
Northwich Community Woodland.
Woodland improvement grants.
The Mersey Forest. Butterfly Council.
Countryside stewardship.
Butterfly Council moth monitoring.
Bees.
Hoverflies.
Craneflies.
Wasps.
Nuts.
Nature conservation audit.
Building hides and screens.
Demonstration hedge building.
Constructing local and regional action plans. Habitat management plans.
And nobody messes with the Marbury Rangers.
I've seen park keepers in a whole different light now.
Very wise, soldier, very wise. But we'll be telling another tale tonight, a different tale. And I'm rather hoping that you'll help me tell it. I mean, there is a choice. But anybody that says no can do what young Barry Priest once did, and that's swim the mere. And you'd be taking your life in your hands if you did. Oh yes. Below those calmly rippling waters is a monster more fearsome than a great white shark. Oh yes, more shrouded in myths than a Loch Ness monster. More dangerous than a 10-foot mamba. So we'll tell the story of the Marbury monster, and with you as my melodic chorus. So let us begin. Now there is a chorus to this, and here it is, if you can see that. And it goes, there's something to fear when his jaws are near, and you'll be out of luck with the monster of the mere. Now, Mr. Musician will give us a little tune there to practice, and the cue is, of course, during the song, when you hear, is it a ruddy duck, then the chorus comes in. So, Mr. Musician, after 4, we'll just have a practice. 4. No, there's something to fear when his jaws are near, and you'll be out of luck with the monster in the mere. So here we go with the first rendition of the monster song.
Now once on the mere, this fisherman here was sat with his rod at the ready. The weather was calm, the weather was warm, and his eyes and his hands they were steady. When his line went stiff and he thought in a jiff, what a whopper I'll have when it's landed. But pulling it out, how did he shout, and he ended his life single-handed. Was it a dive, or is it a stint? Is it a great crested breed? Was it a bittern? Is it a smew? Might it just be some old swan in a stew? Are its eyes golden? Has it a top? Is it just a roddy?
All together!
No, it's something to fear when his jaws are near, and you'll be out of luck with the two lovers with eyes that were gooey. Their kissing was hot and so steamy it got at the birds and the bees, they all flew. So they stripped to the bluff and they dived in the rough where she said, now no telling my father. But he didn't know that waiting in tow were two jaws that would pray to his order. Was it a pintail? Is it a rail? Is it a black-headed gull? Was it a godwit? Is it a knot? Plover and men are off a wimbrel. Are its eyes golden? Has it a top? Is it just a ruddy dog? No, it's something to fear when its jaws are near, and you'll be out of luck with the monster in the mere.
Now, what could it be, this Budworth Nessie, that lurks in the depths of the water, with sharp little eyes and a line in surprise that could snap through the neck of your daughter?
Oh! Well, it has to rhyme, doesn't it? You know, water, daughter.
In the region, the banks down below where there's tanks swept there by American soldiers, this monstrous beast is having a feast
on anybody that didn't sing last night. Yeah.
Are its eyes golden? Has it a tuft? Is it just a ruddy dog? No, it's something to fear when its jaws are near, and you'll be out of luck with the monster in the mere.
You did very well there.
But excuse me, sir.
Yes, my dear.
What was the monster in the mere?
Why don't we throw you in and find out?
Why don't we ask two of Marbury's far more famous majors, Major T.A. Coward and Major Arnold Boyd. Gentlemen.
There's the monster. Where? Tall neck, pointed head, 9 humps. See it?
I see a duck with a brood of 9 youngsters swimming head to tail behind her.
That's our Nessie. Oh, but shush! There's something else very close. See if I can get a clear view. I don't want to frighten it away. Close cropped, a little mucky around the neck, dirty face, fingernails not too clean. Wearing someone else's trousers cut down, I'd say, to guess. What can we do for you, ladies?
We come here to be swans. Being Eunice. You have to look after Eunice because she's too little to look after herself.
I'm not.
You're.
Yes, but why are you spying on us?
We's not. You're the ones that spied on them.
And do you think
birds and that.
Do you think the bird's mine?
Depends what you're looking at them doing.
Got you there, boy. And do you like wild things, my girl?
I like rats. Got some at home. Big ones. I like to catch them. Like the Pied Piper. Mrs. Cox read that at school. I like how the children are enticed into a big hole. It's a little lame one. They couldn't get in. And all the mothers are shouting them. Don't like snakes though. Saw one on the log the other day. Got it when he swam on the bank.
A grass snake?
Dunno. Got him though. She did.
Not a naturalist in the making, our young friend.
But girls, there are wonders out there.
Like what?
Flights of drakes in full beauty.
The flash of a kingfisher.
Flocks of golden plover.
Windchats in May. Warblers in the reeds.
Congregating oyster catchers.
A clouded robin in the ragged robin.
Down there, one of those naked cuckoos in someone else's nest.
The chirp of crossbills. Overhead.
Or one of those grey squirrels that we're seeing more and more of. I don't know what our red ones make of them.
Saw a rat fighting a stoat once.
Oh.
And I like worms. Though my mum said I mustn't eat too many of them.
You come down here spying out my girl, and I promise you many more wonders. And monsters.
Monsters?
Down in the depths of the mere.
Is it the lady? Ghost.
Ghosts?
Of the lady?
Well, I haven't spotted any ladies here.
Only painted ones.
What are you suggesting, Boyd?
The one that body in the water. Now she hopes it every night, whirling through the trees.
Ooh.
The flesh all dripping and her eyes all squished.
Your monster has mean eyes too, and you can certainly frighten when it's out and about.
Is it a ferret?
No.
Is it a frog?
No.
Is it a carrying crow?
No.
Is it a butterfly?
No, need not.
Is it a dog?
No.
Is it a wolf?
No.
Is it something we know?
I have little doubt that all of them here have heard of this awesome creature. Think of a fish that you'd really not like nibbling your toes, and the answer is... Pike, yes!
Well done.
A 40-pounder, no less.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder where he used to hide when the mere used to freeze over.
I wonder what they made of that party they had on the ice when they celebrated the birth of Arthur Smith-Barry. How can you hide from 4,000 guests? Did he sniff the roasting oxen or roasting sheep?
Did the orchestra give him a headache?
Did some of the rum seep into his water?
Well, did that give him a headache?
Oh, and in the 20s, did he hear the scraping hull of the boat that was pulled across the frozen ripples to see if it was safe for the skaters?
Later still, what of the times when trucks were driven straight across the thick ice to Cumberbatch?
Did he hear the ice crack?
And in the summer, did he watch people gazing out over there with the jetty from the boathouse?
Now long gone.
Or follow the boat that used to make its way across from Marbury to Budwell?
And in sultry summer days, how many toes of little swimmers did he snap at? Armour level and snap at.
La 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 la.
Hey! Oh! What have you? Who's no business here? We's watching you night and bloody day, you scavengers. They've hung some of you for poaching here in the past, and they'll do the same if you're caught here again. There'll be no more pickings for thee, as long as I'm at top at bank. Us all pepper your backside for you.
Which is what might have happened if we had come and wandered into the park uninvited, and not so very long ago.
I said, oh!
We'll bid you bonsoir, Major Budworth.
With a final salute, I trust.
And one from the artillery.
Quack, quack, quack.
Oh, go the scooter!
Are you all right, Major?
What's he on about, Major?
Marbury is an enchanting place, my friend. And you have just been enchanted. Come along.
Don't believe a word of it.
Go, get to the next scene and I'll shoot my ducklings. Go, get up to the next scene. Go. I don't want you here. I'll shoot some more ducklings.
Traditional attitude of the sculpting.
If you'd like to look this way,
Good evening.
Good evening.
Louder.
Good evening, madam.
Are you enjoying your stroll through my park?
We are. Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Well then, you should consider yourself highly honoured. You have been let loose to go traipsing through my house and garden without so much as a by my leave. Running amok in the rose garden, squawking by the mere, and now you are standing on my best lawn. Well, you can jolly well do some jobs for me. My man, would you kindly hold my bicycle for me? Now then. You will go immediately to the lodge to see that Mr. Priest has closed the gate and that his child is there to collect the penny charge for the toll. You have all paid, have you?
Yes.
And you will take some food to those poor unfortunates who live on the canal. Their poverty is pitiful, and I have always shown them charity. The kitchen will give you something appropriate. But do not eat any of these provisions yourself. You do not look as though you need feeding up. Now then, you two, we require ice. Go at once to the ice house by the mere. You do know what it looks like, do you? It has a dome, rather like his. And look for the yew trees. They were placed there to give it shade. Find the door and enter and descend the ladder. You will find a pick to help you break up the ice. You look as though a bit of hard work won't do you any harm. Am I right about him? Now then, you girls can get to the hall and scrub the tile floor in the hall. Oh, get to it. You do know what to scrub means, I take it. And when you finish that, you can polish some of the oak panelling and his lordship's prize collection of marbles. They will all have been counted. And I shall listen for any rattling in your pockets. Now then, those of you with a more rigorous disposition, the hunt requires earth stoppers. Anyone here made the earth stop? I suspect you have. Then you will be required to stop the foxholes. Do it well and you will be invited to the Earth Stoppers Ball. Won't that be fun? And as for the rest of you, you will be required to wash the statues, those in the park and the courtyard. Now, I know some of you find them a little immodest, but I can assure you that no part or member of the Greek gods will make any threatening moves in any direction during your attentions. You will not be asked to do such a duty. You are far too attentive in your ablutions to the nether regions of the god Zeus, and the smile on your face can only be described as lewd. Now then, is that all perfectly understood?
Oh, yes, madam.
Very well then. Off you go.
Well, who does she think she is? Which of the Lady Smith-Barrys is she?
I don't have an actual title, but I do run the house.
C'est vrai ça, madame. You certainly did, Miss Nappet.
Miss Nappet?
For 16 years you lived at the house. From the First World War up to when the family sold it, 1932. The housekeeper.
Oh, just the housekeeper.
Oh, but she was its lady. Hardly any of the family lived here at that time, but sometimes they would drop in, and she would have to make the place shipshape and ready, like she tried to for us tonight. Other times, the last of them would fly in on his plane, coming from over there, and landing not very far from where you are standing now. But most of the time, she lived alone in the great house. Well, almost alone.
They sometimes think I'm the ghost, you know. The children that come to the park, that sneak in when Mr. Bentley isn't looking. I give them tea and feed them cakes and stories.
Have you seen the lady, Miss Nappet?
I have.
What's she like?
Dressed in black, occasionally smoky grey and sometimes white.
Tell us a story again, Miss Nappet.
Oh, very well. She was, as you know, an Egyptian princess who was betrothed to be married to Lord Barrymore. They were very much in love, but sadly she became very ill. The princess knew she was dying and asked his lordship to promise two things: that after her death he would arrange for her body to be mummified in the Egyptian fashion, and that she was to be buried in the grounds of Marbury Hall. She did indeed die in the young lord's arms, and he kept his promise. Her coffined body was kept on a marble table in the hall. His lordship yearned for his love and mourned her every day of his life. But when he died, those who inherited the hall found the sight of the coffin distasteful and arranged for it to be buried in Budworth churchyard.
Which is when it began.
It did indeed.
The hauntings, the howlings.
After the burial, the angry spirit of the lady was awoken. She was seen and heard abroad. Footsteps on the stairs, bells ringing, spots of blood on the oak panels and on the marble floor. The servants were uneasy. Our lordships feeling fearful, and in the stables the horses were whinnying and stamping. The stable lads had never seen such fear and alarm. And we know why that is, do we not, children?
Yes, milady.
For the spirit did not walk abroad, it rode on horseback. What fear there was, what terror. No one was safe from her anger, and no one slept soundly. There would be only one way to end these terrible hauntings. One night his lordship sent men to the churchyard. Bring back the body of the princess! Bring her back so we can all rest in peace. So that is what they did. In the dead of night, my little ones, they dug up the earth and lifted the coffin from the ground and carried that Marbury lady back to the hall. And that is where she remains to this day, in a little box on the marble table by the servants' staircase.
But she still works.
Occasionally, if it's a nice evening in the rose garden.
But always smiling.
Now, if you're good, she will smile at you.
What if...
Yes?
What if you're not always good, Miss Snappet? What if you're naughty?
Well, in that case, I can only suggest you listen out for the sound of galloping hooves and a shriek in the night sky. So, let us hope that none of you have a guilty conscience. Thank you, my man.